All right, it is Wednesday, which means it's Ask the Attorney Wednesday here at Fox 13. And today we're going to be talking about uninsured motorist coverage. And I'm joined in the studio by David E. Gordon. But first, David, before we get to that, I want to get back to this case of the injury cap on, or the cap on personal injury lawsuits in the state and the big decision by the Supreme Court. What does this mean?
Well, remember the situation. The Tennessee legislature had taken the voice of Tennessee juries away.
Right.
In other words, the legislature had said it doesn't matter if a jury awards an injured person or someone who died, their family, $2 or $3 million. They said it doesn't matter. The most a court can give is $750,000 to an injured person and $1 million to the family of a killed person. And what the Supreme Court said is today, apparently, is that is unconstitutional.
Right.
That the legislature doesn't have that right. So I really think it's a really good decision for Tennesseans.
Yeah. All right. So we'll probably be hearing more on that. Let's get to this thing about uninsured motorist coverage. Could you give us an example or some examples of uninsured motorist protection? Because we want the viewers to know if this is something that could be important to them.
All right, well, let's take the basic example. The basic example is that if you have an accident, you're injured in an accident with another driver who does not have insurance, then you're covered. Uninsured motorist is your protection against every driver in town who does not have insurance.
And in this town, that's a lot of people.
It's remarkable.
Yeah.
Every person, when a caller who's been hurt telephones my office, when we talk to them in our first conversation, we will ask him or her, do you have uninsured motorist coverage? Because it comes into play so often.
Okay. When we talk about uninsured motorist coverage, it's not like a separate insurance policy. It's your insurance, and you just sort of add a line of coverage, right?
Exactly. It's, in a policy, your primary coverage is liability coverage. That's your protection for things that you do wrong. But uninsured motorist coverage is just another pocket. I like to think of insurance as if you think of the pockets around a pool table. Each of those pockets is a different provision in your policy. But many people don't have very many pockets in their policy.
And Dave, I've seen examples of it where it might cost $6, $7, $8, $10, somewhere in that range. Not a whole lot.
It's a lot less expensive than liability coverage. People need to explore it. It's not very expensive, and it's important.
Yeah, very important, especially in a town where a lot of people don't have the insurance. All right, David E. Gordon, thanks for joining us today. By the way, how can people get in touch with you if they want to know more about this Supreme Court ruling or uninsured motorist coverage? Well,
I'll be glad to talk to anyone about it. I'm at 818-4889.
All right, David E. Gordon, he's board certified. Thanks for coming on today at 7:50 now. Coming up, new mammogram guidelines for women. Changes